right, 1 minute. 1 minute, we take a shot. Sibilance, nipple ring.
How now, brown
Mic
cow.
check, mic check,
How
mic
now,
check.
Brown cow.
Nipple ring.
How now, brown
Unique
cow.
New York.
How now, New York brown.
Black
Red
pussy.
leather, yellow leather.
Black, red pussy.
Peter
Blue
Whoa.
suede shoes.
Moist cunt.
Every once in a while, a podcast comes along that dares to challenge truth, reality, and sobriety. It's time to grab a six-pack, put on your tinfoil hats, and prepare yourself for the Conspiracy Power Hour with your crocked co-conspirators Stephen Gladney and Brent D. Bazinski.
Hey! What's up, guys? Welcome to the Conspiracy Power Hour, first official episode. This is Stephen Gladney, joined by Brent Bazinski.
Hello,
And today we are joined by our bartender, Ryan Berlin.
resident bartender.
Hi.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's good. Good
All right. This is the first official episode. You guys voted on the topic. Today we are debating the moon landing hoax. Brent will take the affirmative. I will take the negative. This will probably start off very rational and then just descend into debauchery, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can hope.
Well, I mean,
We can hope for that.
We
Oh,
can
and
try.
also we're going to have a special guest arrive, who hopefully will help shed a little light on said topic.
we'll introduce them later.
I can't wait.
It's pretty exciting. All
All
right,
right, so Brent, you're going to be affirmative.
I affirm this.
We'll give you the first, let's say, 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, there's it.
First
That's right.
10
We should probably explain.
Oh,
quickly,
so this
though.
is the first episode. So
Yeah.
this is the Conspiracy Power Hour. The way that it works is we will debate a conspiracy theory for 1 hour while taking a shot of beer every 60 seconds for an hour.
For an hour.
Which, that equals out to 7.5 beers in 1 hour.
Mhm, if you're doing a grown-up shot.
Yeah. Not like Brent, who does baby shots.
I go toddler.
All right, well, that's a little bit better.
Thanks. Yeah, preteens just gross.
All right, so you were the affirmative. We'll give you, let's say, 10, we'll say 10, 15 minutes, whatever you want to do. Get your points across. I'll then come back with a retort to that.
Sure.
And then from there, we'll just kind of run with it. And I'm assuming that all structure will probably fall to the wayside at that point, but we'll see.
This makes sense to me. How about you, Ryan? You ready to serve?
Kids,
Yeah.
don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Great.
Feel free to play along with us if
Yeah.
you're at home.
Yeah.
If you listen to podcasts in the car, probably not a good
Oh.
idea.
Here we go.
But you do you.
Yeah,
I don't
it'd be
really care.
hard. It'd be hard for you to keep up while driving.
We're not liable.
Anyway, shit. Let's get the ball rolling.
All right,
So-
moon landing.
So, the moon landing from NASA, was it faked? Duh. Yeah. So here's the story. Here's the thing. Come on, if you just look at the evidence, there's plenty of photographs. There's weird anomalies happening. There's from photos to well, mainly it's photo evidence. Photo, video evidence really seems to be the whole mentality behind rationalizing this conspiracy, but there's also physical things like space radiation,
Say
how were
fiscal
they?
or physical?
I meant the physically.
You said fiscal.
I meant fistful.
Oh.
Is what I think I meant to say.
Cool.
But hey, we go over some points? How
Sure.
about?
Go for it.
All right, so here we are. Point 1. So, why do these photographs of the landings and the activity on the moon appear to contain 2 or more sources of light? Is what I want to know. Why does there appear to be a fill light in the lander or the astronauts' some photos when there should only be one source of light hitting them? Right? Kind of strange, no?
What's your point though? Like, I don't understand. There's 2 lights. What's
There's if the one source of light on the object was hitting from one spot, how would you be able to then see what the parts that are facing away from said source of light? Will they
what I'm
not be
saying
in
is-
complete shadow?
What I'm saying is, like, why is 2 lights a problem? What is like?
Well, then,
So you have the sun, right? Okay.
This you want to get into this now?
Well, I'm just trying to understand your argument first.
Yeah, the argument is that that there's one source of light. It's coming from the sun.
Okay.
And if there were, why would there be? Hold on. A little catch up. Why would there be fill-in light? Why would shadows be pointing at different angles?
So you're saying there's two lights?
I'm saying that there appears to be more than one source of light
Okay.
on these and certain photographs and video that were released.
Okay.
Getting ready, I like it. No, also, what would motivate NASA to do that? Why would they fake it? Well, if you just think about it, it was the heart of the Cold War, and we were
Russia.
we're battling Russia. Russia was seemingly ahead in their technology, and they were making huge leaps. They had the first satellite, Sputnik. They were first up in space. They were the first to get a man up in space. They were the first to get a woman up in space.
Dog.
And then,
Monkey.
the dog.
It was a monkey.
The dog came first, but I thought, did they do him? I don't know if they did.
The monkey was the first animal. Did you do your
no,
fucking research on this?
We did a
I didn't.
monkey. I
There's
think
no
the
monkeys in
Russians did a
Russia.
dog.
Where the hell did they get a monkey to put into space?
They went to China and got one and brought it back.
That's not fair. Anyway, so yeah, so what? Who would be the gain? Who would they gain, and how would they be able to attain that much technology in that short amount of time? With Kennedy spouting that we were to go to the moon within the decade, and all America just rallied right up behind that. It just seemed kind of weird that we were so far behind, and then all of a sudden, hey, we are able to do these incredible feats.
Did you bring a pop top bottle to a fucking power hour?
Yeah.
You got a bottle opener?
I got a lighter.
Oh man! All right. Well, you're still going on your thing anyways. I'll go get you a bottle opener.
I don't need a bottle opener. We got
Bartender.
We got a bartender.
Fetch us a bottle opener, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
So, that's shit. All right. So, how about this? So, why do certain moon landing videos show material movement consistent with how it would act in an atmosphere without an environment, or environment without an
Wait.
atmosphere?
You're saying that the way things move is like it would with an atmosphere as opposed to a vacuum?
Like the waving of the flag.
Okay, the flag. All right.
So you got this flag wagon going
Wagon?
on, the wagon with the flag, and there's no atmosphere. So what the hell? Is there's solar wind? Is that what's pushing it? Come on.
Okay.
What's going on with the flag?
Right.
That's what I want to know. Thank you, sir bartender.
Is the flag your only example of that?
There's other. I think there was an Apollo 16 image. They had the astronaut photographing another one of jumping up and down, and then the video. If you look at the video, supposedly the photograph and the video were supposedly taken concurrently, and the strap on the back is firmly placed on the what do they call it? It's like the big backpack, the luggage that they carry on the back. That's all matches their suit. I don't know. I thought it was amazing. Like, how did they get luggage? I can't find luggage that matches my attire. So there's an incident where like the back flap was kind of like looked like it was like popped open in the photograph, but if you watch the video, it's all contained right then. There's no flapping going on.
Okay,
Very
but
peculiar.
That's not. You said that it acted like it was in an atmosphere. That's just saying inconsistent with video and photo, right?
Well, yeah,
All right,
but
I got
also, yeah, okay. You know what? That's fair. So, Shaka Khan. What else we
Details
got here?
matter, Brent. See, Ryan agrees.
So you see a lot of the photographs of the moon surface, objects on the moon, and this like the lunar module and the astronauts themselves, and shadows seem to be coming in at different angles, like there were multiple sources of light.
Okay.
So why then, if there is just one source of light, would not all shadows be parallel?
Makes sense.
Oh,
Drink.
bonus. So there's that.
Don't forget to refill.
Now, here's another interesting part. So, how come there's really no crater left from the when the lunar module landed and then took off? How is it? They left off with a freaking
Where's your
rocket
proof of
underneath
that?
them.
Where's your proof there's no crater?
There's no. If you look at the photographs of it, there's no impression of it left on the. And then when it lands, you don't see any dust. Would not like the debris, from when it feet landing on the moon. You think like the dust would be dispersed from the force of the lander hitting. You think they'd be, but you don't see any of that in the photographs. So here's another one. How come there's no stars in the background of the photos? You see all the moon photos. There's no stars in the background. You get a few of them with like image of Earth.
Drink.
Up in the corners. Yes, sir.
I'm here
So yeah, so that's another little peculiar thing in the whole mystery of it all. And then we got another incident of the photo crosshairs. So the cameras that they had with the film, there's they got crosshairs embedded to help orientate
Right.
for orientation
And diagram the
purposes.
photos,
yeah,
yeah, I mean-
and so you have certain images to where there are objects layered over the crosshairs. Now, would not the crosshairs be in the foreground, the most foreground of the picture, if it was,
Because it's in the lens.
because
Okay.
it's in camera.
All right.
So how then are these objects like they were photoshopped over, so to speak, or superimposed? Peculiar, very peculiar. Now here's another thing. So you're listening to the audio of the Aldrin and what's his name?
Neil Armstrong?
Armstrong.
Buzz Aldrin?
And Buzz Aldrin, when they were getting
You know the
down,
third guy?
when they were getting down on the moon,
No one knows the third
and
guy.
they're landing,
for. That was the third guy.
as they're descending, they got this fucking huge rocket underneath them. That's just burning. But you hear them clear as day, and you would think wouldn't that also cause some vibration? You hear no vibration in their voice, like they would being physically shaken, which is a little peculiar. That wouldn't you think the communication system would have picked any of that up, or just the nature of the environment of being in a rocket, strapped on top of and coming down? Would there not be some
calm.
vibration in your voice? Yeah,
Or too calm.
too calm, Shakur. Cheers. Yeah,
too calm.
so that's the thing. Now,
You know, I just realized this is very unfair. You get to start off your thing before we start drinking.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be drunk by the time I start.
all right. Would you like me to?
No,
I
just
could
go.
take pause. I can
No,
take
I
pause
just wanted-
if you want to
I
address
just wanted
any of
to
these.
bitch. Just go ahead.
All right, bitcher. All right, so here's another thing. So, there's a weird picture. There's one picture where you see clearly in the photo. There's on a rock. There appears to be a big capital letter
Not
C.
Iraq. Iraq.
No, it's not from Iraq. It's on the moon. It's a rock on the moon. And it's got this letter C on it, clear as day, like a capital C, like it came off a typewriter. I don't know what font that would be.
Aliens, bro.
The alien font.
New Roman.
And and it's clearly it's almost looks like it's carved into it. And cheers. And they got it just sitting there plain as day. Looks like a prop. Looks like somebody had a labeled prop and they forgot to turn the thing over so you couldn't see its designation.
You can. That's fine.
It's fine. Ryan's playing a little
What do you?
with the bartenders.
All right, well,
Bartender's getting loose.
I don't want to say what he just did, but okay.
I kind of do, but I don't think we should.
All right.
So then, here's something. So, upon leaving the moon, when their lunar module is going up to meet back up with the command module, there's a photo of it. You see the thing lift off and float away, but the camera pans up and follows. Who's operating that camera? How they didn't have?
They left a man behind. He's still there.
There's no remote turret. There was
Poor
nothing labeled in the. There was nothing. There was nothing labeled in all of the technical parts. That there was a freaking remote controlled turret for the camera. Yeah.
Good one.
So that's a thing. Now.
Well, I'm convinced.
So now there
Not
was, and there's also another controversial point in the thing is a lot of people bring up is that there's a video that shows the astronauts shooting a camera out the window to look back at Earth, and supposedly they're at a halfway point, which I think at about 130 or so thousand miles away from the Earth, and they're shooting back at the camera, and it appears that there's a trans, what would you call it? Like a
Transgender?
like a tranny. There's a tranny on the window. it's like a transparency. So they got to like hook over.
Trannies in space.
Like they're faking looking out at the Earth, or they're manipulating it so it looks like the Earth is further away than what it actually is.
Okay.
When in fact they very well were in low Earth orbit.
Get him a bottle.
Get a bottle for that guy. So what's up with that, huh?
Are you saying that the view of Earth is fake, or the glare, or both?
I'm saying that they were trying to manipulate.
No, I know
it
what you're saying.
look.
I'm saying, like, what's your evidence? Is it that the actual view of the Earth is faked, or that there's a glare in the window?
You see it, then they're looking at the Earth, and supposedly if the camera is supposed to be in between the window and there, and all of a sudden you see like someone's elbow or something kind of gets in the way, and you see like it kind of covers up the moon. Like someone sitting there sticking their finger directly in front of the lens in the window.
Okay, so the camera's not in the window.
And so then you see, apparently in the same run of the video, you see them kind of back away, and they step away from the other window, so because they're kind of controlling the light coming in for that particular shot, and if you look out the window, it's blue. It looks blue out there. Like, why would it be blue if they're like in the middle of nowhere space? And they're looking at the Earth through one window, and then out of the other window, it's like blue light coming through.
I'm blue. What's
What's going on? Like, they were in low Earth orbit the entire time, is what that suggests to me.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's that. And here's another thing. Why did we never return to the moon? Why was the program scrapped after Apollo 17? And why has NASA never conducted another mission outside of low Earth orbit since?
Moon pirates.
Because they never had the ability to go there in the first place.
Sheila Booth.
Cheers.
So you think we've never ever been there ever,
I think.
or that the first one was faked?
I think that we have been there. I think that what's been shown
Has
though
been there.
is what's been shown to us in video and photographs has been manipulated, and it's not true.
But okay, if we have been there, why do we not have actual footage to use?
I don't know why. Yeah, why would they not be able to show the actual stuff? Something else is going on.
All right.
What could it be? So, here's a little add on to that. During the initial moonwalk, there was 2 minutes where the audio just cuts out. What's going on?
2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Everything else. Yeah, I understand they'd be a glitch, but 2 full minutes of activity unrecorded.
I can. Never mind.
What were they talking about? What was going on? Yeah, that's real.
All right. You did your homework on this.
Well, there's just a lot of shit. There's just a lot. It's a lot to take in. And then you got your the fun one. My favorite one is how they brought Stanley Kubrick into the conspiracy, which I thought that just makes it fun.
He's famous.
He is. He's a famous. He was a jolly fun guy that everyone really enjoyed.
Such classics as The Shining, Clockwork Orange,
Yes.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yes, not so much a socialite, but what he did for society and his art. Yeah.
Oh, dude, top 3 directors of all time.
Maybe,
without question.
Maybe 2.5.
First.
But anyway, so there's a conspiracy. They threw him somehow. I think it happened in the 90s. It was after his death, maybe in '99. They started
How convenient.
saying that he was coerced by the government to help them fake the moon landing, and because if they wouldn't, they were gonna. If they weren't, if he wouldn't cooperate with them, that they were going to expose his communist brother, Raoul Kubrick, who I'm pretty sure he made a cameo in Barry Lyndon, maybe. So anyway, and then in exchange for his service to the country and faking the rest of the country, he was given access to their super duper lenses, to
the official name?
which he could. Yeah, I think it's called the super duper Plux.
Lasers.
And yeah, and then he used those to shoot 2001: Space Odyssey. So yeah, so there's that, and then of course there's aliens on the dark side, and there's there's like cities back there, civilizations of aliens that have been monitoring us for centuries, millennium.
Is that one of the things like you play like Dark Side of the Moon to like the moon landing footage backwards and it all syncs up like Wizard of Oz?
Yeah. Wait. Yes.
It just blew my mind.
So the Emerald City is on the moon.
Now it makes so much sense.
I'm liking where this is going. Those are the basic arguments that I have, or I was able to gleam over in my brief attempt at research.
Sir.
And I was convinced, because that's all it takes.
And
to look at some
I'll
articles.
be honest with you. Cheers. That I initially, before I started doing the research on this, I was kind of convinced that what I kind of brought up and poorly went into detail with was some of it had some legitimacy to it. Yeah, I was actually
here's the best part. So we let you guys, the fans, vote on the first episode, and Brent goes, "I don't want to do moon landing, dude. That's such bullshit. Like, it's not even a good one." And then we're at the bar the other night. He goes, "I don't know, man. Like, I'm kind of convinced." I'm like,
Kinda.
You're in too deep. Abort.
I was like, what really got
You
me
went
was
Val
the
Kilmer.
how did the photographs end up looking so good? Like, they had like they're all like well composed and they're like just the exposure and the the way they had to control the shutter to get like that great grayscale. It's just really nicely composed photographs, and they have these things. The cameras are strapped to their torso. They can't look at them. They're not. There's no viewfinder for them to look into.
Okay.
How are they able to make all these things look so tip top? And they're scientists. They're scientists, and they're coming up with National Geographic photos of the year. So what? What do you
I
stop
think we
looking at
should
me?
bring in our special guest right about now.
You want to bring in our special? See what they have to say.
Sure.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and do that.
We told you we had a fourth party.
yeah,
So we'll let them speak.
And let me just say, wow, that we are all in for a real treat here. We have for today a bona fide NASA, an NASA whistleblower. He was employed as a NASA custodial engineer during all 17 Apollo missions.
Custodial engineer. You've
Author
got a great
of
source.
several fascinating books on the
Better go to the
topic,
bathroom.
including the bestsellers Coming Out of the Janitorial Closet and Cleaning Up After Astronauts. Please welcome to the show, Brian Piercy Renee. Brian, I just wanted to start off by saying how impressed I am by your courage and tenacity and the insurmountable risk not only you, but your family has taken on. And with you coming out, speaking out, and saying to the public what you know from your personal, direct experience related to the topic.
So brave.
Yeah, nice.
That's a good
So,
whistleblower.
how are the kids? Well, that's a bummer. Now, if you would you please tell us, in your honest opinion, knowing from everything that you've been exposed to, was the moon landing a hoax? All right, folks, there you got it.
So
Thank you, Brian Pearson and Renee, for coming on to our show. Ryan, if you'd be so kind to show Brian the door.
Take it easy, dude.
Yeah, don't forget your hat. Did you want to say goodbye to him, Steven?
I don't give a fuck.
Steven didn't care.
He's an asshole.
I'm going to miss him.
But you will.
So, yeah. So,
Is that your spiel?
Brian said it was real. He was there.
I took Latin in high school, so I don't speak whistle.
Well, you could take a class.
I could, but I won't.
Yeah. You should.
All right.
It's a dead language, anyways.
Dead to me.
All right.
All right. What? No, you ready to rebuttal
I
me?
took a lot of notes here.
You gonna rebuttal me with some rational
You
logic?
just blew my mind,
Yep.
dude.
It's all over the wall. I see it.
Gross. Somebody wipe that down.
All right.
Trey.
I'm gonna take this, I guess, like point by point. And if you, I can either just go with this and do my whole spiel back, or we can go back and forth. Whatever you want to do.
Just go with it. Roll with it. You can go point by point.
Well,
I'll try to
point by point. But I'm saying, like, if you want to like break into the topic at the time we can, or I can finish all my points. We can go back to it. I don't really give a shit because you're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no, man, it's kind of convincing.
Duh.
All right. So I'm going to do this point by point where Brent said. I'll start off by saying what his argument was, and then my response to it. And my responses are better because I'm smarter than him. All right. You began with there are multiple sources of light.
Multiple.
Which you are correct. There are multiple sources of light. It's called the sun, the Earth's reflection of the sunlight, the lander, and the fucking astronaut.
You can't tell me the Earth, the reflection of the sun off the Earth, which is near 240,000 miles from the planet. You tell me light from there is knocking on that door.
You ever seen the moon like on a clear night? That literally like illuminates the sky. Like you can literally see like things by moon. You know moonlight, right? Like there's actual moonlight, right?
Mm. So you're saying the Earth is as big as the moon? If you're on the moon,
it's
looking
bigger
at the
than
Earth?
the moon, dude. Yeah, I'm telling you, you have the sun. You have the Earth's reflection of the sun.
Yeah.
You have the fucking lander, with just metal shit all over it, and you have the astronaut suit, which is fucking white.
You know, I think
the most reflective color possible.
It would help if we had like a model like in front of us. Where
they did this. They actually did this. There's an episode that I saw of Mythbusters,
but I wouldn't call
where
it
they actually simulate this. So you made 2 points about this specifically. You said number one was a, what do you call it, a filler light or fill light?
Filler.
So what is that? What is a filler light?
A fill light. A fill is so you got a key, and then you have your fill, and then a lot of times we'll use a backlight.
Okay.
So it's what you call your standard 3-point lighting.
So what you're talking about is, and we'll post this on the website afterward, there's a picture where Neil Armstrong's getting off the, is it Buzz or Neil? One of the two.
He's off first.
So it's Neil Armstrong photographing Buzz Aldrin getting off the lander.
Buzz is on first.
He's in a shadow, and it's very dark around him, but he's illuminated. And so Brent's claiming that there has to be a fill light.
Thinking how are you able to see the front of the suit and everything facing opposite?
From the side, but anyways, like, okay, will you agree that the most reflective color of a surface is white? Can we agree on that?
We can.
Okay. So you're telling me that this guy who's on the fucking moon, which is white.
Wait, silver might be more
silver gray, but it's whitish. Okay. With a white suit on, that he would not be lit up by reflection of light?
I see what you're saying here.
Plausible.
So here's the thing. They actually did this on Mythbusters. There's an episode you can go watch online where they build a replica of...
We can't bring them up.
Why not?
We're gonna get sued.
No, we won't. They built a fucking replica of the moon landing site. They built this fucking scale thing, built a lander, built an astronaut, all this shit.
They built an astronaut?
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. They had a spotlight be the sun, and they put the astronaut on the ladder behind the light. And literally, the same exact effect is accomplished, where it's a shadow behind the ship, or the lander, but the astronaut, who is white, is illuminated because of the reflection.
Yes,
you can go watch the video. We'll post the video on our site.
I can't be argumentative.
It's actually pretty impressive. They did a pretty good job replicating it.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's
speak the truth.
That's the fill light argument that you made. Secondly, you said that the shadows aren't parallel. Now, I agree with you. God damn it!
I know this is hard.
It's getting quicker and quicker.
It gets harder as you go along.
Well, yeah, it's amazing how fast a minute can go.
Well,
all right.
Man, maybe.
So I actually agree with you that if you have a source of light, that all the shadows should be in the same direction. If it's one source of light, I agree with you. If it's a flat surface, if it is a completely flat surface, then yes. The moon has fucking hills, mounds, rocks. There's shit in the fucking way. So
there is.
So here, think about this, for example. Like, if you
who left all that shit on the moon?
Fucking
I didn't.
Liberals.
But I had to go.
Aliens.
Okay. Think about this. Say you have an object that you're looking at a reflection, or it's casting a shadow, right? Which there's light hitting the object, which casts a shadow, right? Now imagine that in between the light source and the object, there's like a hill of dirt or hill of whatever it may be, something obstructing the light. Okay, it's a different amount of light hitting it, right? Which is going to cause a different shadow. Ooh. Now, what happens is it gives you the illusion of a different angle. Who the fuck is calling me?
Nobody calls.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's your sister.
Yeah,
man.
Way to go, Heather. You ruined it.
I hope Zoe's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we should call her.
No, we're good. Ergo, the light approaches the object differently, which causes a different shadow, which would give you the illusion of a different angle. Just a different shadow.
Yeah.
Also recreated on Mythbusters. They did the same thing. They took a photo from the side where the angle was, and they see parallel fucking shadows.
Fucking A.
But that's with the surface being completely flat. So they then go and stir up the dirt, make some little mounds and some surfaces and some craters, which it would happen on the moon, right? Take the same picture, and these shadows appear in different directions.
The same technique is used when they spackle the ladies with the cottage cheese thighs.
What?
I'm sorry, I'm told. We should call your sister and see what her opinion on this topic
We
is.
could do that. If you have your phone on you?
I have a phone.
Okay. Put it on speaker.
Okay.
Give me your phone. I'll type in her number. I can't say it on the air. That'd be weird.
But that would be... We'll just post it on the internet after we're done.
All right, call her, put it on speaker, and then put the phone like somewhat close to the microphone.
Call it on speaker. I'm calling you. I don't have her number programmed. She's gonna be like, "Who's this creepy guy?" I'm not answering the phone.
Closer to that.
Yeah.
Heather.
Hi, Heather. This is Brent Bazinski. I'm with Stephen Gladney, and you're on the Conspiracy Power Hour.
Oh my
Are
God!
you guys drunk yet?
We're halfway there, and we saw you called, and you messed up our stop clock.
Well, it's still running.
That's
It's
me, right?
it's
No.
still going.
It's still fine.
All right.
So,
Well-
Heather, just real quick, we got to do a shot.
First off, is everything okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I just wasted 5 hours trying to work, so that's my Sunday.
Oh,
Okay.
Good Lord.
Zoe's okay.
Hey, but more importantly, how do you feel about us landing on the moon? Do you think that was real?
Hell yeah, it's real. It's science, bro.
Science, bra.
Well, that's a pretty good argument.
How did she know I was wearing a bra? All right, Heather, thank you. We wish you the best, and take care of your dog.
Of course, she's riding shotgun, as always. Peace.
All right. Well, that was entertaining.
Science, bro.
Science. Let's
Mic drop.
Let's make it a point never to call your sister during the show again.
Yeah, seriously.
Kind of a buzzkill.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so your 2 points were the astronaut being illuminated and the shadows. I think I've answered both of those. And if you want to care to look into this further, like I said, Mythbusters did both of those things. I recommend it. We'll post a link to the YouTube video of that episode on the website so you can go check it out.
Yeah. Check it real good.
All right. Your next thing...
Good. The bartender's getting out of hand.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, is this... I guess the next episode is going to be the plumbing conspiracy.
All right. Your next thing I wrote down from you was the motivation, as to why to do it. And I agree with you that there was a battle between Russia, and this was a military type of thing. They thought that whoever won the space race had the military advantage. So I totally get that.
It was more. It was more than military. It was political, and it was socio in the sense
definitely
of
pride.
no
But, okay, so I agree with all of that, but that doesn't mean you have to fake it. Like, I mean, it would motivate you to do it for real as well. So here's the thing, like, yes, you were right. They're competing for being the most advanced country. It's definitely a pride thing. It's a power thing. It's a military thing. But here's my thought. Oh, shit. If they were to fake it, right? Russia had like 5 times the amount of space hours that we did. Like, Russians were the first to go human into space.
They did so
animal
much.
to space. Like, they were beating our fucking asses at space. Like,
They were the first to figure out what to do with you have to poop in space.
see that thing like that. So
Yeah.
my point is that like Russia would be able to figure out we faked it. They would fucking figure it out in a heartbeat. And the embarrassment of faking it, to me, would be far worse than just losing the battle.
That is a great point. If that was to be proven, you would think that our arch nemesis, Russia or the Soviet Union, would have
Dude,
made it a point to expose.
They were 5 times as experienced as us
Yeah.
in space. Like, they would fucking figure it out.
That's a fair assessment to make.
So, yeah.
'Cause why would you risk the
Not
ridicule?
to mention the
I mean,
countries that are working on
I
it
agree
now.
with the motivation, but I don't think that necessarily means that they faked it.
Yeah. I like that last point.
Yeah. All right. Next thing I have written down was you talked about the movement of things, like the flag.
Flags
the
moving.
flag is like the most cliche.
There was like
thing
a
ever brought
bag.
up
There was
on
like a
this.
bag that was
It's
hanging
also
off
it's
inside
also the most
lander.
easily debunked one. I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed you brought this up because it's so
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
Well, it is, but
I've
it's just it's a classic point, and I felt
It's-
that if to not bring it up, I think would have just been
The 2-year-olds listening would have been
missing.
Very upset.
Yeah, we would have been missing on some potential ridiculousness. So please explain.
All right. So every video you ever see of the flag moving is a very close up on the flag, and it's always during the time when the astronauts are moving it. Now, I don't care if you're in fucking a space or a vacuum. If you move an object, like when you flip your sheets or you flap a towel, the reason it flaps is you're transferring energy, momentum to the towel, right? Now it hits the air, which makes it go down slow, but you can have the same flap, I guess you would call it, in a vacuum. Now, here's what gets even better. It would wave even more in a vacuum than it would on Earth, because on Earth it hits the air, which is resistance and friction, so it stops slower. If you're in a vacuum, there's no resistance. It will flap for fucking ever. But point being, you can watch the full footage. This is online. You can watch the full footage of them planting the flag, which they struggle with for a minute.
Yeah.
And while they're moving the flag, yes, it does wave because they're moving it. They then stop. And for 40 minutes, you can watch the entire 40 minutes in normal speed or full speed or faster speed. It never fucking moves for 40 minutes. Now, if that were done in a studio, a door opens, a person walks by it, anything would ever happen, it would cause a flutter.
Yes.
It doesn't move a single inch for 40 minutes.
And if you know, when it does move, it moves as it would a fulcrum. It's not just kind of like, it's not being.
Well, that was the
it's
construction
not
of the
like
flag.
another
They actually
force.
built it. It's not just a flag on a pole. It's a flag with like an L shape. It's like a line up and then
Like,
a line.
yeah, it's
because they didn't want it to fall straight down.
It's got
Right.
wires in it.
Right,
It's
exactly.
Like not made of fabric.
Right.
It's
They wanted
made
it to.
of
They wanted it to
something-
stay fully,
Correct.
displayed.
So why was it all wrinkly?
'cause
It's not
a wire,
a solid object.
Yeah.
It has support frames in it, but it's not like the whole
Because it was
thing.
packed. Because they had to unfold it.
There you go.
It
You
was
answered
packed.
your own question. Good job.
Yeah. Well, Cookie. Should I get?
We don't have any cookies, do we?
No, but you have beer and you'll get to drink it
Yeah,
in
we
24
should have
seconds.
pretzels
Ooh.
next time. Let's get a bowl of pretzels or something. I'm feeling parched.
You talked about well-framed photographs and
Thank
how they
you.
were so amazing photographs. This is public knowledge. The astronauts were trained in photography before the mission. I mean, dude, like, this is the fucking pinnacle of, like, humanity and, like, the race against Russia, all that shit. Like, you're gonna...
Oh, Jesus.
Of course they want to have badass photos, so they trained them on taking photography. They also predefined or pre-selected the selection or the locations of the photographs to be really good photos. And keep in mind, we only see the best ones. Like, there were a bunch of shitty photos. They're like, we're not going to show those, obviously. Which you can go online and see all of them. It's called the Apollo Lunar Surface Journal. It has every single photo taken. There are a lot of fucking shitty ones. Like, a lot of shitty ones. But they picked
That's a
up...
technical photographic term. A lot of shitty.
Yeah, that's the industry
I went,
terminology.
I went to film school.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you're going to see the best of the best because they chose the ones that look the best to use for public display, obviously.
To publish on the cover of Time.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like any fucking photo ever. For commercial publication purposes.
How about people? Would they put it on
Didn't
people?
was it Time that gave Donald Trump Person of the Year?
Yeah, I think he's gotten more than one.
But it's like
that's a different
that's
issue.
based on like being influential or causing change, which he actually did.
Is he
He's
even a
fuckstick,
person?
But like,
How can
Debatable.
he be person of the year if you're not even?
Hey, let's focus on this topic. That'll be a topic for a different day.
that's
Donald
an excellent.
Trump.
That's an excellent idea.
Really
Donald
a
Trump
person.
conspiracy theory.
I'm really glad we got our bartender here.
Yeah, he's good.
I'm glad I'm here. Could be somewhere else, but I'm
We
not.
should call your mom
You
and
live
thank
here.
her.
You should assist her. She'd appreciate that. She's called me twice. I need to call her back.
Yeah.
I'm not calling her on the show.
Wait, she's your sister? Oh, it's Easter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The
it is
bunny-
Easter.
Easter.
Yeah.
We're recording
I
this on Easter, by the way.
If I want chocolate.
You should
then-
never reference a date on a podcast
No,
Oh.
no.
because now it tells them it's in the past. You want them
Oh.
to feel like they're here.
It's
Hey,
not Easter.
Ruined.
welcome
We'll
to
edit that out.
This is July 18th, 2019.
Yeah,
We're all happy to be here.
recorded this in the future.
Balls.
All right. I'm going to take your next 2 points together. You talked about there's no dust kicked up when they land or a crater when they leave.
Yeah.
I can answer both these with the same responses. 'Cause it's
Right.
the same reason. You realize the moon is not just like a ball of powder, right?
It's cheese.
There's Munster, Gouda.
Blue.
It's
hate
good,
bitches.
good for you, good for me.
There's fucking rocks, dude. There's like big ass fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Hear him, Blazer.
You bought fucking
Trying to stock up. Why? What's wrong with the pop?
It's too much work. Anyways,
I'm doing it.
they chose a specific landing location on a hard surface.
Mm-hmm.
They landed on a fucking not a rock, but like a giant solid rock. Like welcome to the rock. And what did you say earlier when I told you that? You were like,
I said I could smell what the rock was cooking.
well, after that.
Oh, that you were probably right. What did I say?
They had to alter the location they landed on.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Fear?
right, because it's common knowledge that when they were descending onto, landed on the moon.
Those are
they,
opposites.
Yeah, well, you're an opposite.
I don't know what that means.
Armstrong had to take manual control, and because they were about to, and you could hear the audio comment, this looks a little rocky. So he took control, and they kind of did a little bumping up and down, little up and down on a little module there, and then they found the smooth land spot. Tranquility Base was determined on the fly by Armstrong.
So you think that NASA planned one landing location for this mission?
No.
Just one. Like, it's going to work. Don't worry about it. We need a backup plan at all.
How much of it do you think was a crapshoot? You know, like, well, if this happens,
Dude, you're
then
talking
this
about
happens.
fucking NASA, like, billion-dollar project. They had 20 landing locations planned out, dude.
Which is why they could easily had the money and resources to fake it.
Anyways, the point being, they land on a hard surface with moon dust on top of it. You're not going to make a crater on top of a fucking rock. Not to mention, they're not landing at full fucking speed, dude. Like, they're trying to set this thing down at a slow pace.
Well,
also,
not necessarily a crater, but at least like a serious impression. Like if you have a
you
rocket
don't impression
shooting,
on a rock, dude.
it's sure. Would it not singe? Would there not be like
Singe?
some burn? Yeah. Would there not be some burn? Would there
I
not
don't
be?
think you understand
Would
how
there not be
this
some like noticeable
dear God,
displacement
man.
of
Oh,
dust
dear God.
and debris and minor rock?
Do you understand, like, the moon has 1/6 the gravity of Earth?
I do.
Like, it doesn't take a lot to fucking float down a fucking lander.
No.
Yeah. Nor does it take, like, fucking fire and brimstone's gonna... And your word singe, which is
So you're saying-
which is what happens to your skin, not a fucking rock,
Right.
by the way.
Yeah. So you're saying then that
I'm saying they landed on a fucking rock.
the amount of thrust needed to land
You
and
said
then
crater.
propel
You said
away
crater.
I
from-
heard crater.
There's no crater. Yes, it
Crater.
displaced some dust. There's no fucking crater on a rock.
You just shattered my paradigm.
Yeah, I did. I'm gonna keep going, too.
I need to look at a picture of the moon more.
Let's see what else you said. You said there's no stars in any pictures.
My God, it has no stars.
You ever heard of light pollution? Like, dude, like, look up at the fucking sky. We live in Atlanta, so look up at the sky in the middle of Atlanta. You're gonna see shit.
Yeah,
Go to a fucking field or
because
somewhere.
there's all those alien cities on the moon.
No,
that are
not
blocking it
alien
out?
fucking cities, dude. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Eee.
Series of tunnels and complexes.
Again,
Billions. And
you're on a
billions.
fucking white surface, and also like they realize there's gonna be reflections on the cameras. They're set to daylight exposure rates. Like, think about your iPhone. You point an iPhone at like a bright ass light, and there's like that adjustment period. Like it changes the
Yes.
focus and shit. Same
You're
concept.
saying
called
the
exposure.
film, yes. The film
they-
is set. So
they
the
set
ISO,
this- they
or
set
the
that
ASA
to
is
be
what it was
daylight,
at the time.
which means you would not pick up
Yes.
things like stars.
So it had a low ISO.
Which even the astronauts said they couldn't see the stars with the naked eye during the lunar daylight.
Right, they had to use an optical.
Right. Okay. Here's a good example. Like, you can look at videos or pictures of like satellites, for example.
Am I missing? Am I
No,
back?
no, just get ready to go here.
There are pictures of satellites and space station photos right above Earth that also have the same effect of there's no stars because of exposure.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree with you, and I get this.
We don't have to fake the photos from a satellite. Like, we can do that part.
Yes, you speak the truth. Right. It's about exposure. It's about what light is being captured from what focal length and the amount
Arguments
of
are weak, bro.
emulsion
So fucking weak.
being.
By the way, you can fucking look with a telescope.
They're not
at
my
the fucking
arguments.
moon and see the shit still there. You can
Yeah.
also point a fucking laser at it with the reflector panels on the moon we left there, and fucking get a reflection back. So, I mean,
Well, see, and I
that's
never
the
really
easy way out of all of this.
But the whole argument with the moon hoax is not necessarily that we never went there.
You're
Well,
saying
some
the
of it
first one
is.
was
Some of it
faked.
is. But I think more so is that what was shown to us was not the actual occurrence of what happened. You know, like, yes, they did go to the moon. Was Armstrong necessarily the first guy to be on the moon? That's the argument. No, a lot of people say no because what they saw could not fathomably be accepted reality to
I
them.
think so far your arguments are shit. But
So I think the main thrux, is that a word?
Thrux? No.
No.
Not a word at all.
Well, great. I made up a word today. So the
You
thrux
made up
of
like
this.
4 words so far.
You're welcome.
We're only halfway
And
through.
I think that the main, mentality behind this conspiracy is not necessarily had we never gone to the moon. I think it's accepted that we have been there. I think the argument though is that what we've been shown as visual and photographic evidence of us being there has been deemed by some as implausible.
All right.
And
Can you shut the fuck up? I got a lot more points to get to.
holy fart.
All right.
You could be nicer.
I could, but I'm not going to.
Hey, do you remember when he was sober at the beginning of the show? He was kind of
Now he's getting
polite.
angry.
Yeah, he's an angry drunk.
So much more to go.
Ding.
Fucking shit.
Were you holding on to that one
Damn.
from last time? No, I think
You-
you'll get away with this one.
You kissed
Oh,
your
you're
mother
cheating
with
at the
that
game
podcast?
too, you fucker. Can I finish?
Judges?
Can I finish?
Would you? Please
I
continue.
have to pee. Okay. You talked about crosshairs being covered up by objects in the picture, which I think is a good point. Like, it's fair. Like, if the crosshair's on the lens, it shouldn't be covered up. The problem is
It's not real hair. It's
the
not like pubic
photos-
hair. It's just a line.
Okay.
Sorry.
The photos you're referring to are reprints or copies of originals, and the problem is, like a original photo, is exposure. So they're embossed by the whiteness when a reprint.
So on the grayscale, if something is
What I'm saying was
brighter
it's a
than
shitty
what
copy,
that
is what I'm
line
saying.
initially was,
It's a shitty copy. The originals have the crosshairs fully intact. The reprints don't because of things like
because of impurity resolution.
exactly. That's correct. Yes.
Somebody should have wrote that.
Now, one thing you started on but you didn't get to was the Van Allen belt.
Because I was thinking of Van Morrison, and there's
Great artist.
there's no brown eye moon.
Yes, there is.
So I'll explain the argument for the hoax because you didn't do it.
Would you like me to?
Nope. Well, you can. Okay,
I
go.
had two
Yeah,
jobs.
go for
So
it.
the idea is, okay, there's the Van Allen belt, which is
Explain what
basically
that is.
the from what I gather is
Not a scientist.
not a scientist.
I want to know.
I'm a
This was,
alcoholic.
by the way, this was the most convincing argument to me doing my research to
Initially?
debunk this. I was like, that's actually a really good point. But then
Yeah.
I found out the truth. And
So the Earth has a the magnetosphere, which blocks the radiation of the sun and solar winds that are hitting us. Now, once you leave that, you're in what was deemed as the Van Allen belt, which apparently I guess there's 3 levels of.
True.
There's 2 levels, but 3 to some. The then one, yeah, and it's levels of radiation, right? There was alpha, beta, and gamma
This is
radiation.
going way too long. Can you speak
Does
up?
it?
Jesus
Does this
Christ.
not going? Well, you asked me to try to
Yeah, but
explain
you're doing a
it.
terrible job.
All right, sir.
There's 2 belts of like super radiation that humans cannot pass through without being just like royally fucked up. Now, like I said, this one got me the most. I'm like, that's actually a really good point. Now, Van Allen, who the belts were named after himself, said this was nonsense. The inner, there's 2 layers. There's inner and outer layer. The inner is the most dangerous. They were in there for about a minute and a half at their speed. The outer layer, which is less dangerous, they're about an hour and a half in there. So to put that in context, that's equal. The exposure is equal to either
Jesus, every minute.
equal to living at sea level for 3 years or working at a nuclear power plant for 1 year.
Yeah.
So you can totally survive it.
Well, I just want to say that I get my Van Allen belts at either Belk's or TJ Maxx.
All right.
TJ Maxx.
They're good quality.
With a good jingle.
They go well with my Hush Puppies. My Van Allen belts. Yeah, well, you're a dog lover.
You brought up that the camera moves up when the lander leaves.
Yeah, I'm sorry
which
about that.
I originally was like, that's a pretty good point.
Thank you.
It is remotely controlled by NASA.
See,
There's a 1.5 second delay
I read some
of radio from
yeah.
Earth to the moon. That's about how long it lasts.
I was initially misinformed on my research on that. Some guy apparently tried to claim that he went through all the technical manual and the list of all material needed and what was brought, and a turret, a camera turret remote for such one was not listed.
Okay, so here's the answer to this shit. NASA can control the camera from Earth. There's a 1.5 second delay. It's actually 1.3 technically. Which, if you watch the footage that he's talking about, it pans, or it doesn't pan. It moves a little bit behind. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done, which you'd expect from like a 1.5 second delay. So you can watch the footage.
Oh, cool. Jesus. You're getting it all over the mic.
Oh, man. Windscreen. But anyways, it's not perfect. If it was a human doing it, it'd be a lot better of a shot. It's about a second behind what you'd expect from the delay. So,
yeah. Speaking of shots, I think we only got 10 minutes left.
we do. We're
Right.
at the tail end of this.
We're hitting some good speeds.
Yeah. You talked about the letter C on the rock.
Yeah.
Again, this only appears on reprints. It's not on the original footage.
Yeah, and I think initially that point of conspiracy was brought up by Cookie Monster. Because C
is for cookies,
and it was good.
Cookies are for me.
That point of conspiracy was good enough for him.
Anyways, it's not on the original footage. It's on reprints. Could be a scratch. Could be a hair. Could be something.
It was determined it was a hair or anomaly of some
here's the
sort
thing.
because there was another angle photo earlier or later.
Let me give you a good example of this.
said
We are
rock.
pattern-seeking animals, right? Like, we look for patterns. And so, like, we see clouds look like objects or animals, right? Like, we say the cloud looks like a giraffe, whatever it may be, right?
You look like a person.
That's a pretty face.
We see Jesus on toast. We see patterns that are not actually there, but we recognize
You
them.
shouldn't say that on Easter.
Oh, it is Easter Sunday. Yes.
You're gonna
Psych.
get burned.
I'm talking about dates, bro.
Anyways.
Anyway, so Jesus on toast,
All
and
right.
continue.
Ah, fuck.
Fudge.
There's 7 left.
Go past Jesus on
You
Yes.
talked about the blue glare in the windows, and they faked the picture.
Yeah, that one.
So the claim of this, and Brent didn't really explain it very well, but
I did a.
the claim is that they're videoing a round window. They're actually like very near the Earth, like above like suborbital, and they're giving you an illusion of the window frame.
Orbital.
They turn off all the lights in the space station thing or the ship that they're in, and the window frame itself, which is round, gives the illusion of the border of Earth, but you're seeing a close-up image of Earth through the window frame. Now,
in the command module.
right, there's a couple problems with this. Number one is that it doesn't move. The Earth is not moving in the picture. If you're that low, if you're that close to the Earth, you would see movement happening. Like
Right.
the Earth's fucking spinning like a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't move. That's
No.
the first thing. And you mentioned the arm in the way.
Yeah.
The actual
is
window,
that?
the actual window they photographed that or videoed out of is a square. You see the frame of the square hit the edge of the photograph or the video in the full version. Also, they panned it out to show you.
I'm not quite following that.
They shot it out of a square window, not a circle one. And he's moving in zero gravity. He's trying to maintain this view. Of course, you're going to move around. which the frame of the window is the shadow you see, not an arm.
Oh, so you're saying that it was the edge of the window that was breaking into the image of the
Right.
Earth.
Now, when you watch the full footage of it, he moves to a different window where you see Earth as a dot in a different window. Mm-hmm. And then you talk about the glare of the Earth. The windows in the space station that they were in, or the shuttle, what would you call it?
I called it the
command center.
Poop shoot.
Module.
Poop shoot.
That they were.
module.
It's 3 panes of glass. Shit. It's 3 panes of glass. There's really 3.
3.
With a vacuum seal in between one of the 2 layers.
So that makes 4.
They had a big problem with fog of the windows happening. It was like a well documented thing.
Yeah.
And so you watch the full video, and it shows him go to Earth in the one window, pan to the other one, and then go back, and there's a giant glare in the window because of the fog. Like, you can see it in real time, no editing. It's the way the windows were constructed. It's the light reflection. Like,
yes.
If you see a picture of that, you'd be curious and a little bit doubtful. But watching the video, you see, like, okay, it's just that's the reflection of the windows. There's three fucking panes of glass.
Watch the whole video, kids.
Well, most of these theories are based on photos. When you watch full videos, they don't show the videos in the conspiracy documentary
Explanation. So, speaking of the air and pressure and whatnot, there was another thing I heard about. They were astronauts drinking orange juice.
Tang.
Poo. Tang and
Pootie Tang.
D-Tang?
and it was spilling and it was leaking out of their suit. And because they're and there was someone speculated, well, their suits were not airtight. They were not vacuum sealed to where their bodies should have been boiling from the pressure.
What?
Yeah.
Of Tang?
No, dude.
Because if the suits were losing orange juice out of the little straws and it was seeping out of their helmet.
That's not how that works.
No?
Death
No.
by Tang.
You were way off now. All right, let me finish your points here real quick. We're running out of time. You asked why we never returned.
Why haven't we gone back to the moon?
Why would we?
There's
What?
nothing there.
There's everything
So
there.
Newt Gingrich wanted to build a fucking moon base. He wants to go.
Well,
I'll hang out with Newt.
because people don't like him here anymore, and he needs a new place to live.
That's fair.
Me either.
You talked about 2 minutes of audio muted during the travel, whatever.
Yeah,
Okay, so what? Like, what's your point? Like,
I'm thinking.
if
Have
you're-
you
if you're-
seen the
if you're
Transformers:
gonna
Dark
say-
Side of the Moon?
If you're going to suggest that
Nobody
means
has.
Yeah.
there's some kind of like alternative motive thing, like that's your burden of proof. Like, you can't say there's no sound, therefore conspiracy. Like, you have to give me more than that.
Listen, how can a good conspiracy theorist never accepts
proof.
the burden of proof?
Right, that's a good point.
I mean, how are you going to sell a book? Why are people going to listen to you in conventions? Why would people travel halfway across the country and spend triple the amount of money they would at an average hotel to go listen to you on a weekend explain, and you're supposed to have answers? Come on.
Because people are stupid.
No, it's because you got to make money. You got to make a living off shelling it out.
They shout
I
louder than the
actually
other guy.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah? You finally somebody agrees with me.
My favorite point you brought up on the whole thing
Is
was
that-
the Kubrick part. And I don't
That's a fun
believe this,
one.
but I think it's fun to believe it was
Oh,
real.
I know. You just wish it was true.
So the whole theory is like Kubrick was hired as a director to do the fucking film footage
Or
in exchange
yes.
for getting technology that he could use in 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is a fucking amazing movie.
But if you
You've never
watch
seen it, you have
if
to
you
watch
watch
it.
all the NASA videos at the end, it's directed by Alan Smithy. It's not Kubrick didn't. He refused to put his name on it.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Well, there's like the
Good job, Alan.
room 237 is in Shining, right?
yes,
Which-
that's the room, and there's a documentary.
Right. And then what's his name? The little boy Danny
Danny
has like
Danny
a rocket
Torrance.
ship sweater on.
Yes, yeah, and so people allude to that as being Kubrick being whimsical and hinting towards his participation.
Now, what I think he did
Easter
was,
egging?
I think that the theory was obviously out before the movie was made.
Mhm.
Shining was what year? 76,
Shining was 71, I believe.
71, okay.
Released in 71, so that
Which
would have been shot in 70.
The theory was already out by that
Hector?
point, and so he knew of the theory. I think he's trolling the conspiracy theorists, personally.
Yeah. Just having a little fun with it.
Well, he was big on symbolism, right? Like that was his thing, and why not do that? Like, I mean,
yeah, I think too. Though,
given the opportunity, I think Kubrick would do that.
Well, in his relationship with Arthur C. Clarke and his, I think, respect for science and for the
science,
the advancement of like man, and his appreciation for that, I think was in due diligence. I can't even.
You can't even fill up
What
your
is
shot
this
glass.
thing?
I forgot we were doing.
We're keeping up. I have not missed one. I just don't do it on time.
At the hour now.
This is it.
We can keep going.
We should cue the music.
Oh, we do have some music to play.
But it's playing, and we are cutting out.
So, what do you think, Brent? I mean, are you?
I think I initially was kind of like, I think maybe some of this is real, but upon looking over all of the details and listening to both sides of each argument, I think, or each point of every argument, I think it's clear that we did get wrong. I think that was hoaxed at all. I think it's all completely legitimate, and I think anything that is questioned or brought up in any of these conspiracies is with some rational thought and some you're looking into can be easily explained.
It's been one small step for man and one giant leap
For alcoholism,
for mankind.
hey, you should be kind. You should be kind to any person, not just man.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so we'll post a vote on the Facebook page. You tell us: are you convinced that the moon landing was fake, or that it was real? Let us know your thoughts.
Yes. Fuck yeah! Let us know what you think of our bartender.
I liked him; he was good.
He is. I don't think he's not going to be easily replaced.
This was episode 1. I think it was pretty good.
Well, that's what you think. Let's see what they think.
All right,
Fair enough. All right. God, I'm really happy I didn't get beat up. I'm really. It's Easter. I can say God. Okay. Thank you for not being.
I'm surprised there's really Rocket Man or Major Tom references.
I really expected you to be meaner. I thought you were going to be more angry.
I can turn it up next episode if you want.
Well, let's see. Maybe we should just make you drink hard liquor while the rest of us do beer.
Seriously, I'm not even drunk.
No, well, you've been drinking Bud Light. I mean, Christ. Nobody gets drunk that. I mean, at least I got the Magners. I'm pretty sure I got you on
Cool.
at least 7 points of alcohol.
I only got 5 cans here.
It should be 7.5 beers. I don't think we did it right.
What?
And I only have 3 bottles here.
Well, it's because I got bottles.
down
I'm hiding my
So
bottles.
you said 5. Are we missing time?
It's 7.5. I don't know what we did wrong.
Somebody should take us out back. Buy us a beer.
All right. Well,
Hey,
thank you for listening. I guess.
thank you everyone for.
We're still going.
Tolerating this.
We can record as long as we want to.
I just want to. I want to thank Brian Piercy Renee for stopping by,
Yeah.
and
He was good.
I'd like to thank
My sister.
I'd like to thank our intro host. Who was the guy who said the intro?
Thank my goddamn sister, you asshole.
Billy. I'd like to thank Heather Gladney for stopping by
Thank you.
and giving her 2 cents and letting us know how
Science,
much
bro.
she loves the world. And Ryan Berlin, our resident bartender, ladies and gentlemen.
Excellent job. You
Great
guys
job,
can't
Ryan.
see this, but he actually refilled our beers for us throughout the show, which was amazing.
He-
You did a fucking amazing job, dude.
Kept the fuel flowing.
Yeah.
I
They
thought
can't see that, but okay.
it's nice to know that somebody's not doing it for
Okay,
themselves.
that's a good point.
Lazy Easter Sunday, Jesus sleeping in the cave.
Well, this has been the first episode of the Conspiracy Power Hour. Hope you enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun recording it.
I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun in all aspects of
Put
this.
your pants back on, Brent.
Okay, I didn't have that much fun. Okay, now I'm having fun again.
Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Everybody,
More to come.
goodbye to our party.
That's so weird.
Ah!